Welcome to the In-Season Podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. Things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are first-hand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and medications are hard to pronounce, so please bear with me. Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Post-seizure in sleep. Hi, y'all. I'm sorry. This is a silly question, but I'm confused and a little worried. I was asleep last night, and I ended up waking up because I was shivering and shaking in my sleep. I get this way every now and then, but tonight it was violent, enough to actually wake me up. I felt like I could barely control my body, and I could speak properly at the same time, as I was so confused and focused on trying to get myself to the top to stop shaking, but I couldn't. I even managed to control myself enough to get from under the blanket, but then my head started hurting so badly it felt like I was splitting in half, breathing hurt, moving hurt, even the next morning. Not trying to self-diagnose, but this was genuinely scary experience, and I'm not sure if it's urgent enough to take a trip to the ER. What's your thoughts? I'd go to the ER. I can't speak and my body can't move my body properly. Those are signs. Yeah, definitely would go to the ER. Yeah, go to the ER. Don't skip out after what you're saying here if it's really true. There's a lot of life and death situations that you never know until you're dead. Yeah.
The insurance was the first thing that came to mind because I would think I would go if I have a ride. If I'm not going to get charged for the ambulance, then that's when there's no question. Yeah, AJ, it's like that.
You get charged for the ambulance? Like what? It's a ride share?
Yeah, like
It's not Uber.
it's thousands to get an ambulance ride.
Thousands.
I remember I had to pay an ambulance bill. It was over $600.
I seen one that was over, I think, 1,200.
You're not normal.
But then again, I've tried to jump out and stuff like that. So I'm flight risk. So they know to tie me down from now on and stuff like that. Just be aware that I might try to hop out. And I don't do it because I want to. It's kind of self-consciously. My body just, I don't know why.
They serve champagne in ambulance? That's why it's so expensive. And caviar.
You never get a chauffeur vibe in an ambulance, I promise.
Right. Post-seizure in the sleep. First comment says, not saying it's 100% definitely seizures, but I would ring the primary doctor and ask to see the neuro. I have seizures, focal and bilateral, and you've explained exactly what I go through some nights, especially waking up with a splitting headache after a night of episode of shivering, shaking. Try and write down everything every time it happens, times you fall asleep and woke possibly triggers. If you're a female, menstrual cycles can be a trigger. Try not to worry too much. Hope you start to feel better. Grandma or any meds that help. I've been suffering from a grand mal seizure since 16. I'm now 35. I've had over a total of 20 seizures, not medicated, just smoke weed. Docs think they're stress-induced. Marijuana, I feel, is making it worse. With my oral feelings, wondering what meds beside Keppra that work. I have a family of 5 that I need to be around for. I like your attitude. Gotta be around for people. First comment says it's a crapshoot, and each person will respond differently to meds. Try like 15 different ones before they finally grew phenobarb at me, and it's TBE, one that actually works mostly, and is also the oldest medicine seizure med there is. For rescue meds, I use Valtoco. Did I pronounce that right? I use Valtoco, and swear by it. Within 3 minutes, it'll go away. End quote. Oh shit. Oh no, it's an aura. Okay, I'm okay now. Grandma aura. I had an aura this morning, and I wouldn't know exactly if it was a grandma aura, but it was not good. And I was nauseous really bad. And I had to get up and find my pen in my sleep and smoke when I didn't want to smoke. But it made the nausea go away, so it was a good thing.
I'm still jealous of you guys with auras, man. I had another grand mal yesterday morning in the shower. So I was standing up, and then just all of a sudden just flopped, slammed over, started like flopping around. Luckily my dad was home and had heard, and he came in and was able to kind of like turn me over so the water wasn't like going, up my face and everything. I got a bunch of like bruises. My foot is bruised and cut up because I guess I was kicking around while I was, moving around in there. And then so he obviously helped me get out, dry off, get back to bed. And so I wake up and I check the time and I'm like, oh shit, this is later than I usually get up. I need to hurry up and get ready for work. I just felt like crap. I just thought I had like a headache. I went to bed early the night before. I wasn't feeling well. So I just thought it was that, right? So I go into the bathroom and I turn the shower on and the water starts running. And then I hear a knock on the bathroom door. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I just turned the shower water on. Why is my dad like trying to talk to me right now? And then I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, James, you already took a shower this morning. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you took a shower. You were in there for like 10 minutes or so, and then you had a seizure. I helped you get out and everything. I had no memory of waking up, like shaving, getting in the shower, getting out of the shower, nothing. I thought I had just straight waken up and had a bad headache. I remembered none of it. Had my dad not been there, I would have had no clue anything had happened.
Sorry to hear
Except for
that.
the bruises.
It was weird. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously being sore and everything, but I guess I wouldn't know like any of the details or that I had the seizure in the shower. I thought it would have been like, in over the middle of the night in the bed or in bed or something, or yeah, it was really, really weird. I still got my ass ready and rode my bike to work and worked, but it was a long ass day. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know those long days after you have seizure, the day just seems so much longer, like it'll never go away. Right there with you. Not that I had one recently, but yeah, I know that feeling. Makes me want to punch something. Yeah. Another comment here says, I use Lamictal, aka lamotrigine, on top of Keppra. I have dozens of seizures since I was 16. Now I'm 27. It's helped the most of them. It's helped the most with auras. Anybody feel like their medication worked better in the past, or something else that worked and your doctor switched you off of?
I was gonna say I'm currently on the Keppra and the clozapam, but I was on Lamictal and Keppra too, like that other person, and it wasn't really working. But the clobazam really hasn't either. I've still had 3 seizures since I started it about a month and a half ago, so it really hasn't. I mean, the frequency hasn't gotten worse, but it also hasn't gotten any better, except for I'm feeling like the side effects of the clozapam are really kicking my butt. I have a lot less energy and just kind of little more out of it sometimes.
The closest I come to that scenario was when there was a generic. We couldn't afford the brand name anymore. Insurance wouldn't cover it, so it switched to a generic and didn't work. So sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's just that's the problem in our medication. Our medication is almost all of our medication not always like not like a flu medication, you know. It's not like you drink it and 100% will be what I will say will zip and we will rest assured that the medication will like
Become medication resistant.
no. I mean will take will forgot about it. Sorry for my language for my language. I'm from Indonesia,
It's
so
okay.
I have
Do
a
you mean like he like it'll heal you or fix your health issue?
that's right. So our medication is needs times to work on our blood, you know.
Yeah.
So
What medications are you taking? That's one of the things that we usually describe when we first join.
I have clobazam, trileptal, Depakote, Abilify, and what else again?
Okay.
I, th- I think that's all. I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
when was
I
your
think
last seizure? You think they're controlling your seizures?
so about it's still active. It's still active in my body. It's still maybe about 2 days ago. Maybe 2 days ago. It's still very annoying. You know. It's still very active in my activity of my life.
They still happen. Yeah, that's so it sounds like
Yeah.
there's still a part of your life. How long have you lived with epilepsy?
I have around 22 years since my 15. uh, I'm 37 right now, and
Okay.
I'm have this diagnosis of epilepsy since 15 years old.
I'm
So
30.
it's around
I'm 30.
huh?
I'm 36, and I got my seizures at 16. 20 years
Oh
ago.
yeah.
20 years
Okay.
ago.
Nice. Sorry, nice. Not nice, but I
I
mean,
take yeah, it's not nice, but yeah, I take lamotrigine.
yeah,
It's like 200
yeah.
milligrams twice a day. Um,
What do you drink?
I take lamotrigine twice a day, twice. 200 milligrams, not
Um,
that much.
okay. Nice.
Do you have
Man,
focal
not much,
seizures?
not too much. Huh?
Do you have focal seizures or only grand mal?
I have focal and temporal.
Okay,
I have focal and temporal.
okay.
Yeah, that's
I got a post here, you guys. It says, anyone
okay.
ever go say that again?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Anyone ever had benzos not work? I'm freaking out. Yesterday, I had a focal seizure around 6 p.m. and it took about half tab of clonazepam. Then at 8 p.m., I had another. So it took me another half. At 10 p.m., I had another fucking focal seizure and went bad and terrified. The entire clonazepam and my brain doesn't care. How do my rescue meds not work? Because anyone else had this ever happen? No, I've never had anybody use my my rescue medication on me. There's usually no one around, so there's that.
AJ, what was your experience with this?
So my emergency medication is midazolam injection in oral, and sometimes they do not work, or they are administered way too late. So I end up getting an overdose of diazepam in my body, or phenobarbital also in my body. They injected in me. So instead
man.
of having a simple seizure, I end up having a status epileptic.
Anyway,
or
sorry. You go, Pookie. Pookie, sorry.
go ahead.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I just want to ask, is there somebody in here that has some kind of forgot, al- is always forgotten something, and like easy to forget something, something like,
Oh yeah. I forget all day. I
yeah,
Yeah,
forgot.
that's right. That's
I
right.
forgot a lot.
Yeah, like just put a key in something, and it's on the table, and then forgot about it, all of it, and then searching all of the rooms, and then suddenly it found in on the table. It's just
in the
it's
fridge.
forgot.
Yeah.
It's like a hard disk. It's like a hard disk, and it's formatted.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
I
in it.
forgot I was cooking one time and I was making rice and I didn't know it was. I walked away. I forgot I was cooking, and when I came back, the rice was just. It was
Burnt.
disgusting. It's ugly looking, and I've never boiled rice to be that bad. There was no water left. It's very dry and yeah, bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what?
So
it's
My memory is
I was
bad.
just gonna
I,
say
I
yeah,
one of the
very
techniques
bad,
we use to
very, very
adapt.
bad,
Go ahead.
very bad.
yeah, I can't
Yvonne,
cook
have you
because
noticed that like
I'll
writing
forget.
stuff down might help? Setting reminders?
Sorry?
Have you ever tried writing things down, setting reminders?
Yeah, of course, of course. Right now, start from, I have this kind of weirdness. I'm trying to write something. If I afraid to forget something, and then I write in my phone and in my PC, laptop, and something like that. It's just I think I have to do that. It's not an option, because if not I'm not doing that, and then I will forget all my plan.
Yeah, I forget what I'm saying as I'm saying it sometimes. Forgot what I was gonna say all the time.
Yeah,
It's nothing new.
yeah, that's right. That's Boogie. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. That's very, very
Like,
bad, man.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
like a month ago, I was just chilling watching TV, and I was like, "Oh, I'm thirsty." So I walk out from my room to the kitchen, right? And I get out there, and I'm like, "Why the fuck did I come out here for?" And I'm like looking around, and I could not remember, right? So I was like, whatever, it's just my stupid head. So I go back to my room, sit back down. I'm like, right as I sit back down, I'm like, man, I'm thirsty. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, me too, me too. I've done, it's almost, yeah,
Yeah,
me
it's almost
too.
funny, right? Because it's just like you forget in like 10 seconds. It's like, who does
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we already planned it, and suddenly it's just gone. It's just gone.
Oh,
It's
James,
it's really,
there's
really.
one that I had, James, and I was
Uh-huh.
in bed and I was just thinking I'm thirsty. And next thing you know, I was in the kitchen, I was pouring juice in a cup, and the juice was coming out of the cup and it was overflowing. And I
Oh,
blinked for
geez.
like 1 second and that's what was going on. Yeah. Or yeah,
Crazy.
one time I was at the bar station and I was like gonna get on. I see it come, so I back up. If you guys don't know, BART is subway for us. Above ground subway, I guess. And yeah, I was at the BART station, and when it came and I backed up, I blinked for like 1 second, I thought. And when I came to, I was doing like this, taking a selfie, and the train was pulling off. I don't know how
Is that
long. I don't know how
that's
long I was doing
crazy?
that. The platform was empty. People had come and gone already.
Dang,
Yeah,
that
so
would be, yeah, that'd be freaky. Like, were you and you were by yourself? You said,
yeah, I
dang.
laughed. Just laughed it off. Hey, shouldn't
Yeah,
have
if I mean, if you've had it, if we like you've had it like this long as like most of us have, then you kind of know what it is. Then you can kind of be like, "Ha, okay, I'm all right. It's funny." But if that were like only like your first or second time having that happen, though, like for you know what I'm saying, for somebody new, that would be scary as hell.
Yeah. I try not to let it happen again. I don't know if you heard the stories, but I've walked in people's homes twice. Um, not good times.
Dang,
You ever wandered off into someone's house?
not
No?
not into someone's house.
You guys are
No,
missing out
but
on the fun.
I might try.
Got something that says epilepsy or anxiety. Says, sorry for another post.
It's lagi in
Okay. Anyhow, it says at this point, I don't know what is anxiety versus epilepsy. I feel like things are very unreal, and like my head is a fog. It has been this way since early June and had my EEG late June. I get wired feelings in my stomach and it's slightly burning. I get weird body sensations, but they are on the right side of my body. The EEG showed abnormal activity in my right temporal and parietal lobes. So I don't know if that makes any sense. The most distressing things is that I look distorted and my surroundings feel unreal. No, I know derealization can happen from both, but I'm not sure how long it can last after focal seizures. Don't think they're fully under control either. Um, that kind of sounds like anxiety. A little bit, if you guys catch my drift. But it could be epilepsy. You never know.
It sounds very, very familiar to my what I thought were focal aware that I'm now questioning if they're focal unaware.
Yeah, Andrea, you haven't heard my stories about walking into people's homes. Well,
Yeah, I heard one of them.
oh, okay, how fun is that, right?
I'm terrified, especially because I'm just now living alone, except for
So how
the
do your
cat.
focal aware compared to the unawares? How do you keep track of those?
I thought I was, but now I've that's the point.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, yeah, I'm gonna go through some of these comments of epilepsy or anxiety. The first one says, "I don't have an answer for you, but it's so hard not knowing the difference. I'm in the same boat. I'm constantly like, end quote, was that a seizure, POTS, or anxiety?" Another comment says, "I'm constantly wondering the same thing about myself. It's hard not knowing for sure. Makes you feel alone or like you're faking it. It can be a little of both. Since stress can trigger seizures and seizures can cause stress, I think they often happen together. Give yourself grace and navigate this, and remember, no matter which one you're experiencing at this time, both hard or both are real. It's not okay if you're not okay. I'm hoping you find some answers and some things that will help you." Yeah, Kate, you got something there? If not, I do.
I was gonna go for a summary on this one because I still didn't quite understand what they were asking. It sounded like they were still figuring out whether it was anxiety or epilepsy.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, they were trying to figure out if it was actually anxiety or not.
Yeah, that's another second opinion. Keep track of your own notes, and the doctor might find the right one to help you put all the pieces together. This one, though, I know some of ours can relate. Is anyone on ADHD meds at the same time as their epilepsy meds? I'm on Lamictal, lamotrigine, and Epilium, sodium valproate, and want to know if anyone on similar meds is or has also taken stimulants like Ritalin, Adderall, or Vyvanse, and if they made you have seizures, so you had to stop taking them. I'm tossing up getting my official diagnosis and medicated because although I've been managing it well so far, it's starting to affect my work. I've often avoided tasks until the night before they've been due, stayed up all night finishing, barely getting any sleep, waking up and having a seizure. If not, just straight up going to work without any sleep and coming home in the afternoon as soon as I could cool down from the stress and worrying that I'd have a seizure mid-work day, and you guessed it, have a seizure. Outside of this, I rarely have any seizures, so I would like to get this sorted, but I don't know if the meds counteract what I'm on. Okay, so that was his or their version of explaining the consequences of not taking their ADHD meds, the Ritalin or Adderall, because it counteracts the lamotrigine and the epilepsy meds. So does anybody have experience on that, or can you speak from personal knowledge of ADHD meds and stimulants and AEDs?
Personally, no.
I cannot.
Stimulants, let's see.
I don't.
Weed would be considered a stimulant, right?
Sativa or
Okay,
a sativa hybrid, just not indica.
so that'd be a yes. Then I've had stimulants, weed, or not necessarily alcohol because I don't drink anymore. But I have drank during. Yeah, I was young and dumb at one point. I would take alcohol, take the pill with alcohol. Yeah, dumb stuff.
I'll admit to that. I'll admit to that too. When I was younger, or a couple of times when they were like less frequent, when I was like in my younger 20s. I wasn't dealing with them as often, so I didn't really know how to handle it exactly as well. They weren't as well controlled, so I'd have like the worst headache, every muscle be sore. I had no clue what was going on. So my first thing is like, I got a headache. Let's have a couple shots. That'll take care of it. That'll make it better, right?
Oh, 2020 hindsight, gotta love it.
Yep.
So can you
yeah,
also
Whoa, to
contribute
be
to right?
yeah. Wish
Young
wish
and
I
dumb
could do
has so
that
many
now.
different meanings. So
Yeah, that's
James,
what
can you
I was
contribute
thinking
to
about that.
having ADHD meds in addition to AEDs?
I'm sorry, were you asking me?
Yeah, I was asking if you could contribute to that discussion as well. They're asking specifically about ADHD meds and
Oh,
AEDs.
no. I haven't ever
Okay.
taken any ADHD
The
meds.
Ritalins or none of those. Okay.
No. I was just
Yeah,
chiming
so it
in
looks
there
like
on
they're
the cookies joke.
yeah, no, it looks like these stimulants though are just well known for lowering somebody's seizure threshold. So I
I
can see why
was
that's
on
definitely a
ADHD pills
oh, go ahead,
for
AJ. What
five
was your
years,
experience?
but I found out later that they were actually toxic for me. So I was actually not on ADHD pills. So
I got a
they
post
did not
here.
work for me. Can you repeat?
Oh no, I got something here. It says, have you ever had a seizure while driving? If so, please explain. I have. Shouldn't have been driving. I was turning to get on the freeway towards the bridge, and I hit the center divide. Yeah, that was my situation.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
How'd yours go?
Yeah, I'm with my family, with my wife, my daughter, and then in the road in the road. I'm being a driver. Sorry, I'm mostly the driver, and then I have a seizure, and then my wife who saved us all, because I'm blackout. I'm blackout
Yeah,
because yeah, seizure. It's blackout, and
yeah,
then I can control myself. He tried to save, he's the superpower lah. Superpower.
yeah. Super strong.
She's the superpower. And then we hit the side of the, like, what tall in English, I forgot.
Wait, say that again.
You hit the
Um,
like the middle
light
barrier in the
pole,
middle of the road?
the light pole, right? The lamp post, light pole. Is that what word you were looking for?
Okay, I'm sure he'll be back.
Oh.
What did some of your comments say?
A lot of the comments here. Let's see. Take it from the top. My last two were behind the wheel, just over a year apart. I've been seizure free for some time now, but I feel apprehensive about driving for myself and others' safety. Second comment. I've had two complex partials while driving. We thought my seizures were under control. Thankfully, I was able to pull over both times and no one was hurt. During one, my very young son was in the car. I felt it coming on. I pulled over. I said, "Talk to daddy, baby." And that was it. I don't even know how I called my husband. I was post-ictal, and my husband was so frantic he forgot he could see my location on his phone, so he was trying to get to me and tell me where I was and if I were okay. After a while, I could get it out. End quote. Blue Cash. I parked in front of the Blue Title Pawn Place. I've made it up to over a year seizure free in this past year. Then still had one. I'm not sure if I ever feel safe driving again. Don't drive. Don't drive. Before I knew I had epilepsy, I had tons of focal aware behind the wheel. I usually, when driving straight on the highway and bored, when actively driving, I wasn't bored and they didn't happen. I would have my focal aware seizures, deja vu, extreme fear, prefixing doom, event. I would carry on. I can still have basic delayed motor control during these, so I was safe carrying on straight on a curve. If something were to have to happen, I did need quick response. I don't know what would have happened. Thank goodness a tonic-clonic never happened. Years later, after those focals started, I had my first tonic-clonic during sleep and was diagnosed. This one said at least two focals while in the car, but nothing happened during those ones. I had a third, sped up while driving. Thankfully, no one else was on the road or taken out, even though I hit a tree. Even though that tree had it coming, I was in the hospital for over a month, ended up having a colostomy because my colon got nicked and got reversed almost a year after that. I am back to shitting myself due to trusting a fart. Another one says, yes, I totaled 3 vehicles, as many years. I took the hint and stopped driving. Someone said I pulled a Dukes of Hazzard into a shallow end lake. Somehow had to drag me out of the car, and it happened 5 days after my daughter was born. One more says, it's been a year or two, had seizures while driving. Luckily, I was coming to a stop, but I hit 2 cars. No one was hurt. 2 people in the car tried to claim they were hurt. I had been told I had outgrown my seizures. Now I have them once a month or more. I'm not taking my old medication because it made me in a rage. I can't go back to that medication, but I'm uncontrolled without it. Don't drive. Key words, you guys. Words. Don't drive. Honestly, I just need to vent. My 26-year-old sister is autistic and developmentally disabled. She basically perpetually 7 years old. She lives on her own, but doesn't and can't work or drive. My mom handles all of her money and medical appointments, takes her to buy groceries, and does so much for her, which is great. What's not so great is the expectation is for me to take over of all this at some point, and I feel very bitter and hopeless about it. I don't want my life to revolve around taking care of my sister. I don't want to spend my weekends taking care. I don't want to spend my weekends taking care of my sister and spend in her support groups, cleaning her apartment. I feel like I'm being forced to take care of a child I never had any say in bringing into the world. I love my sister so much, but the pressure to do everything for her has been looming in my entire life, and sometimes it gets to be too much. And I feel very frustrated. Like my whole life has been planned out for me, and then I get no say. My mom always tells me I can never move away because I need one day step up and completely take over my sister's care. I know rationally this is true, but I don't know. It's not fair and very upsetting. And I have suggestions, and I have seen suggestions on this subreddit in the past, end quote. Well, you don't legally have to do anything, so if you don't want to. But that's just not realistic. What am I supposed to do? Leave my sister and fend for herself completely when she can barely read, or stick her in a home where their strangers will be in charge of her? No, the best thing for me, is basically turn into our mom. It's just hard to really accept it. I'm lucky I have a loving partner and promising career, so it shouldn't feel slighted, but I do. I'm so angry and sad about what my future is going to look like. Please, someone help me. That was a lot.
That's rough.
Right.
Sounding like you're left with someone's care, and there's such a stigma about ever refusing that role. But it's going to have to come down to what is truly best for you.
One says, hey, as someone who has an autistic sibling as well, I can understand. I had same thoughts as well. Some of us don't have the capacity for such a sacrifice. With that being said, are you certain that the group homes you have in your area are bad? Because the ones in NYC are good. Maybe you can check some of them out yourself. Or maybe she can get a home aid that's paid by Medicaid. I am in this identical situation. I have already started a transition of care for my sister from the elderly parents to me. I love her to pieces, but she is a child I never wanted to have, and this does make me feel incredibly terrible. How do you guys think you would deal with this if you just had to take care of a sibling out of nowhere?
I mean, would you agree that there's no good solution in this one?
Yeah, I guess there's no good solution. Yeah, mom has to
What are you
step up.
thinking, Andrea? Because they said there was that example of somebody who's already beginning the tradition or transition of care. But would the first thing you do be to look for long-term in-home care, or tough it out until you see how their routine really goes?
I honestly don't know because I'm not in a position to where I could help somebody. So I don't know. It's a very hard call. It's very hard with it when it's especially, with it being a family member, and it's just there's gonna be feelings no matter what you do, I think.
Okay, I got something that says, how long does your aftermath last? So I've been having focal seizures for a while now, and the meds are not fully controlling them. We're going up on the dosage, so hopefully they can be more controlled. I have felt in sort of a, in quote, dreamy state, or like things are not real for months. I thought it was DPDR, and some part of it may be. But I also know focal seizures can cause that too. I have temporal and partial lobe epilepsy, and I am not sure if it's going to the frontal lobe or the occipital lobe in some way as well. I guess my question is, how long does your anxiety, dreamy state feel unreal and vision off last? Or does anybody experience it? I know some people here have said that theirs has lasted a few days, but I'm also not sure, and I am so tired of it all. Aftermath of a focal. Aftermath of a focal, usually a quick headache or migraine, then it's over with for me, personally.
My
Yeah.
focals aren't very big in comparison, like compared to my TCs. They have some aftermath. The focals not so much.
Same. Well, this poster too was saying that they have depersonalization derealization disorder. That's that DPDR one. Were they asking in the post if the aftermath of a focal could have been more of that? Because it looks like that's emotionally numb, robotic, or like an observer of your own life, DPDR. I think that's what they were asking, was to tell if they might have had a focal seizure if they're feeling that way. Because that sounds like it could also be the aftermath of the focal, but the headache is always a for sure for me. If the focals go more than a minute, then that's when I think I have definitely the headache, but not always a long time confusion or nausea or any of that. And this DPDR one, it says can be triggered by severe stress, trauma, anxiety. So sometimes the same thing that triggers a seizure. All right, you're gonna hear it again. More taking notes. So you can make sense of it all, go over it with the doctor and figure out what's the difference between the after effects of a focal and DPDR.
Track it all, look for patterns.
I'm going to go through a few of these comments. One says, yes, I hate the disassociative state. It's like I'm watching myself in a movie. I'm not controlling my actions. I'm just watching it happen. The length of the time depends. Sometimes I'm okay right away, but most of the time I recover is between 2 to 14 days, just enough to have another one. Wow. Another one says, sort of continuous for me, unfortunately. Sometimes I'm lucky I get rare moments. I get aftermath fades and I don't have something staring, and it feels glorious. Very rare though. Mine is typically fogginess and with headache and short-term memory loss. Two more. One says, I'm not sure how long mine lasts, normally for days, sometimes weeks. And also, what meds are you on? I completely feel you. I'm so effing tired at all this, and post-anxiety and depression, plus so many other headaches I have to deal with while trying to live a normal life. Only 1 hour, but if it's not that bad, the weird thing is I can last a few hours as long as I have my Ativan or Klonopin. The feeling does not last all day long at all. It kills all seizure activity within minutes, plus calms the brain down.
How long do your focals last, Cookie? Like when you have them, or anyone, honestly.
I've had one to where I don't exactly know how to explain a focal, because I've had some ones that were crazy. I've had ones, like I said, like I've blinked and the train had took off, and I don't know how long I was standing there. But I've had focal unawares and ended up in different cities and all kinds of stuff. And the rampant sexism in epilepsy treatment. I want to make a quick post for any women out there who will probably experience the same thing. But gosh, the difference in treatment women receive from male and female neurologists is crazy. Last week I went into status and was intubated in a coma for roughly 24 hours. Obviously, a very scary experience. When I came out of the coma, I had a few non-epileptic seizures, which a female neurologist said was a pretty standard reaction coming off of painkillers. I'd hurt myself pretty badly during seizures, and sedatives they'd had me on was totally fine with me. I have a dual diagnosis, which she also said, which is common. Many epilepsy patients made me feel super validated, talked through the tonic-clonics that had put me in a coma, and wrote me my discharge summary, how they were indicative of bilateral focal seizures. It was one of the most affirming interactions I had with a neurologist, and I asked to be switched from my current medication, a male neurologist, to her clinic, which she agreed to. Unfortunately, the whole time she was talking to me, there was also a male neurologist present. He would roll his eyes at some of the things I said and scoff under his breath. He completed the rest of my discharge summary letter and commented that my coma was, end quote, likely unnecessary because of all the seizures were, end quote, clearly not epileptic. It was incredibly frustrating to read after such a positive experience. I felt like a deliberate choice after a discussion. I'd had a female neurologist. I've had issues in the past with my male doctors refusing to believe I have epilepsy, even though I've had many EEGs that prove otherwise and a clear reason. Lesions on my temporal lobe for the cause of my epilepsy. If you did read all of this, thank you. And if you're a woman stuck in a male doctor's constantly doubting you, I'm sorry. It makes the whole process for treating such a difficult illness that so much harder. Please, ladies, talk to me. Ladies, talk to me.
So this one, she was talking more about the medications and how it relates to. Oh no, this one was the sexism. So female doctors feel more relatable, but sometimes they're not. If I hadn't experienced this personally, I would probably be just agreeing. But at this point, the doctor that did listen and go through with telling me, the first one to tell me that there were other treatments besides medications, was a male doctor at one of the teaching hospitals down here. So, well, females can always feel more relatable, easy to talk to. Maybe that's why OP got further with the female doctor, because if you are just more open with the medical professional once they're actually listening, that might do the trick. What do you think, Andrea?
I've had mixed experience with both, honestly, because I've had some male doctors that are, I have still some male doctors that are amazing, and I've had some other male doctors who are, I was married with children, and I had the guy tell me that I needed to bring my father to my next appointment. Yeah, he was very rude, and it's just, it depends on the doctor. You need to have a doctor that you have a good relationship with. It's about whether you can communicate and talk to your doctor. And if you don't feel comfortable communicating and talking to your doctor and being completely honest with your doctor about everything, then
That's a
you
problem.
should get a different doctor.
If you can't talk to your doctor, that's first red flag. That's a problem.
Guys can still relate to this one. What about AJ?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you feel about sexism being prevalent in neurology or in doctors in general? Do you think a male or a female doctor is more likely to be good?
Depending. Emergency department, definitely female. The rest of the department, male. I mean, and yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay, so just curious, what do you think the female doctors in the ER have over the female doctors in a clinical setting?
Empathy? I mean, it depends really much on the specialty and how much luck you have. I mean, you can have in a specialty like neurology, a dumbass and a great person at the same time. So both
Okay, but
sexes
overall, I
are-
mean, in neurology, when it comes to your epilepsy, for example, you don't think like a male or female is more relatable or dependable or something?
in my opinion, male doctors are better.
Oh, okay.
Female doctors are completely idiots.
Oh,
That's
surprised to hear that.
Says
they have no idea about how our body works when having a seizure, what's happening. I mean, I found out more from my whole body from my male doctor than my female doctor. She was like, "Oh no, you don't have that. It's all in your head. It doesn't exist," or stuff like that. And I was like, "Dude, just open the network. You'll see there are multiple articles." So I don't know. Everybody is different. So
James, Jeff, any experience on this front? Whether you've ever experienced sexism?
I would think, I haven't experienced it, but I would think women doctors would be much more detail oriented than males. I think women in general are more detail oriented than males,
I have
who
to
tend to
disagree
have
there.
the attitude, fuck it, we'll take care of it.
I
And
I had an
that's
ex
just been my experience.
I I'm sorry, were you done, Jeff?
Yes, quite done. Thank you, Andrea.
I had an experience with female issues that I had fought with and fought with and fought with for years and years and years, and had several different female doctors, and I finally went to a male doctor, and no problem, it's handled.
Yeah, I had a female doctor one time, and the first time I met her, she gave me oxycarbazepine, a prescription for that, and she gave me um yeah, she gave me oxycarbazepine. Oh, then she told me that my memory was too bad to be as young as I am, and she would um order for me to get a some kind of surgery to where she puts the needle in, and I guess she said there's some little air pockets in there that she can take out, and I'm not sure what to do with it, but yeah, I was like, nah, I'm okay.
That sounds like some like 1800s like take like the hand drill to your head to relieve the pressure from a headache or like that sounds like some like yeah, some 1800s medical practice bullshit like
Yeah, not everybody bounced back from surgeries, and I don't want to risk it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. That's what I told her. My memory is just gonna be bad. It's okay. It's epilepsy, and yeah, I don't know why she thought she can treat it better. Then she calls me and tells me, "Don't take the oxycarbazepine. It can mess with my heart." She just read my chart. I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah,
Shouldn't you have read that before you prescribed it?
I could have went home and hurt myself. And yeah.
I guess I went to a good one.
Yeah, so I think the male ones that I had, they've always tried to be the best there is. Not they are, but they've always tried to be the best and like been very thorough. So yeah. I haven't had a woman like you did said, Jeff. Not yet. I mean, the woman that I had to dismiss her because she tried to give me surgery first time I met her.
When my cardiologist retired, I went to a woman, and she's phenomenal. I couldn't be happier with the care I'm receiving from her. and the information I'm receiving from her. And it's actually much better than my male cardiologist, who I thought was terrific. So, but I guess that's, one experience. Everybody has different experiences, and I thought that if she was that way, um, you know, she had to work harder to get her medical license.
Yeah.
And I figured that would carry over.
Yeah, I like good doctors. Not many, but I like the good ones. But I do have a post here, you guys. It says, granddaughter is status epilepticus and being put in a coma. I'm scared. My granddaughter has a TC this afternoon and was rushed to the ER. Since then, she had 6 more. They intubated her because her oxygen was so low, and they're giving her propofol, and versed by her seizures aren't stopping. Anyone been through anything like this? What did they do? And was your kid okay? They just life flighted her to a trauma center. I'm freaking the fuck out. Tell me something.
That is kind of scary.
I'd be freaking out too. My kid's getting flown out to a trauma center for a seizure. Yeah. I'm worried too. Opinions, you guys?
I think any parent would be freaking out with that.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's natural. A parent is going to freak out over that.
So trying to stay calm would be a major priority in that situation. You
Right.
need to
Mhm.
take a look at the facts, make sure she's going to the right hospital, and if how are you going to manage a second opinion on such short notice?
But
So
how many
that's
how many parents would have that wherewithal to think all that out, rather than just take her to the closest place and get her treated the fastest you can?
Yeah, I
exactly.
did the same thing. Find the fastest, closest place that I think is going to be the best. Go with that. But here's some of the comments. Someone said this happened to me when I was 18. It's how I discovered that those strange dizzy feelings I were having were seizures. After this event happened in my life, my doctor started to be more aggressive towards my treatment. I'm 38 now, and I haven't had a seizure in 6 years. Thank the Lord. I pray for your granddaughter. I'm sorry. I have been there exactly, only I had no one by my side. She is very lucky to have you. Get with your epileptologist and review all meds and treatments available, since this event was so serious. Best of luck and my sincere hope for a good outcome. This happened to me, and they put me in a coma to protect myself. It was scary, but the ICU was the best place for her to be. It took 4 days for me to come out of it, but they changed my seizure meds, and I've not had another seizure since. So I'm praying that she comes out of it and is okay with no damage. There's good people out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Not too many, but they're out there.
We got a funny stories post here. Switch it up.
Yeah.
I feel like oftentimes we really let the bad sides of epilepsy get to us. Obviously, it isn't funny, but has anyone had any funny experiences because of epilepsy? Would appreciate any humor from people who get it. If you don't want to joke, that's fine, but please know this is meant to be in good humor. Funny is not the first thing that resonates with seizures, but I guess in my experience, the only thing is when I do something random, the detergent in the fridge and, bananas in the oven, things like that. So focals, yeah. Acting silly during a focal is probably the only funny stories that have happened in my experience. What about you, James?
I was gonna say though, just the first thing that pops to my mind is just like a funny, I guess, family thing. One time we were, my parents, my sister and I, we were all in the car, my sister and I in the back seat, and just out of nowhere, I had a seizure, and so I flopped over and like fell like, onto her lap, and it was one where I was like drooling a ton too while it was happening. So I was like drooling onto her lap as I was sitting there. And then so this was like early on when I was having him, so I think I was like 20 or so. She was probably only like 16. We were 16 or so. We were younger, right? And she was just like, she didn't know what to do, so she just kind of starts like like I don't remember this. This is what my parents said. Like my sister just kind of starts like poking me, like move, get off of me, because it was the first time she had seen me have one. So she didn't really know. I'd only had like three or four, a handful at that time, and my parents had seen them. So she didn't really know what to do. And my mom she's like, "Don't do that to your brother." She got so mad that she was doing. And then after they told me that, I was laughing. I thought it was kind of fun. Because I
That
mean, I ended
sounds
up obviously
fair.
I was okay. I just fell over on her. I didn't get hurt. Nobody was hurt. But it was just funny that my mom got so upset about that, because my mom was freaking out and my sister's kind of just like, yeah, my brother.
I got something. Does anyone have the same seizures as mine? I always feel like I'm the only one. I search on the internet if they are the same as me or visit different website of epilepsy, including other subs. My focal seizures happen on my left side, on my left hand, and then will grip on my fist, and then grip in my fist so tightly. This is what my seizures look like. I want to know if anyone else with focal aware seizures have a seizure that happened on your hand or arm. So I finally feel like I'm not the only one. I don't get warnings like that. I wish I did. Yeah, no warnings.
Warnings, you said, or uh seizure?
Said basically focal seizures happen on the left side of the body, and it will grip my fist and shape so tightly. That's what the seizures look like. They'll just start gripping stuff. I'm assuming that's what it sounds like.
I don't know why the Zoom keeps thinking my hand is giving a thumbs up when I just grab my arm. So weird timing when you're talking about gripping the fist too. So um I don't know. Could that be kind of a kind of myoclonic, do you think? The clenching suddenly?
Possibly.
Um, I definitely feel vocals like split down one side or the other, and I definitely feel on the left side. I don't have myoclonic jerks, so I don't have anything specific to one limb like that, but I definitely have, like split down the body one side, and that sudden clenching sounds kind of like a myoclonic.
Hey, Mayor Wilkins, how you been?
I'm I'm good. I'm very good. How's everyone doing?
Long time no
Uh,
see.
Mark, you were talking about myoclonic seizures.
I'll read the post to you. It says, "Does anyone have the same seizures as mine? I always felt I'm the only one. I search on the internet, and if they're the same as me or a different website of epilepsy or other, including other subs. The focal seizures happen on my left hand and will grip in a fist shape so tightly. This is what my seizure looked like. I want to know if anyone else here with focal aware seizures or seizure happen on your hand or arm. So I finally feel like I'm not the only one."
um, uh, as far as my myoclonics, they weren't extended gripping. I might have just, snapped and let something go, but it was just a quick jerk as far as mine were. Um, but this, I no. But every seizure is different, so I don't know. I can't diagnose that. But it's good to see everyone, and hope you're all doing well.
I am very much. I go through some of these comments on this post. This one says, sometimes this happens to me, but with my right hand. It's not every time I have a seizure, but it does happen. Another person said, I've never experienced that, but it wouldn't surprise me that this can happen. One more says, mine have changed over time, but typically affect my leg. I've had them for 35 plus years now. Usually it's the left leg going limp, but then sometimes the left leg cramping up and rarely left arm too. It's type of a focal motor seizures can be very uncomfortable. Before on meds, I had a couple that affected my full body and I was conscious the whole thing. Don't really have any words to explain how scary it was. Very thankful for the meds despite all the side effects. Hope you all well. Kevin, you have any seizures like that? You said just dropping things, right?
It's always the myoclonics are always just a quick jerk, a quick spasm.
Got another one. It's asking for advice. It says, hey everyone, I'm curious if anyone's ever taken, I think I might have read this, taking gabapentin for grand mal seizures. I recently asked my PCP, switched me off of Keppra to gabapentin because Keppra makes me extremely suicidal, foggy, tired, and overall feel like a functioning zombie. I've never taken gabapentin before, and my epilepsy is sporadic. So even though it's not a common epilepsy drug. It's either I try other options or constantly live in this constant state of duress. Never taking gabapentin. We talked about this earlier, about it being used for something other than this. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, gabapentin is, I believe it's considered a medication for nerve pain. The uh, the medication I'm on right now is Vimpat and Lyrica, and Lyrica is considered a gabapentinoid. It has the same mechanism of action as gabapentin. So it's essentially a very similar medication. I think that the primary difference is the potency. The gabapentin takes a higher dose to have an equivalent effect, but subjectively, it's kind of a sedating medication compared to a lot of the others. It's one that will have you a little more low key, better to take at night kind of a medication. But I've found that it helps a lot with my mood. It's actually kind of made me a little bit happier when I've taken it and when I've or at least pregabalin, the generic version of Lyrica. So but yeah, it was something I had to ask my neurologist about specifically, because I had kind of looked it up in the same sort of adventure it sounds like this individual is going through. And yeah, it was something that they weren't going to put me on alone. They had to have it only as an adjunct medication. So probably would be the same with the gabapentin. But my experience has been very positive. I wouldn't hesitate to switch over or to try switching over from Lyrica to gabapentin. I expect that they would have almost identical subjective effects from what I've read. So yeah, I'd give it a go.
Yeah, so basically as long as you have a support team around to monitor the vitals and anything for an allergic reaction. I agree. Some of the comments on that last one, Mark, right before you got here, we were reading one about any funny stories. And this was one of the posts that or comments, I mean, that I didn't get to. Somebody saying, when I have seizures, I usually start really creepy, laughing out loud. So one time I went to the movies with my friends to watch the Barbie movie. And in one part, they made this joke that was not actually meant to be funny at all. Right when they said it, I started having a seizure. So I was the only one in the cinema laughing loudly to this really bad joke. And that sounds like what do they call those? Symptom of a seizure? I don't know, whatever happens like when it first starts. Yeah, that would be an annoying one to have. Not like any noise indicating the beginning of a seizure is better, but yeah, laughing might attract more attention when you don't need it. Somebody else is saying that a lot of other people saying they laugh.
People definitely all turn and look at somebody laughing alone in a crowd. So as far as noises to be making when you're having a seizure, I think that's probably a pretty good one.
I got something. Says another seizure becoming more often. 26, just had another seizure. Over the years, I've been having them more often. Besides being a partial focal seizure, doctors have been unable to pinpoint that has been causing them. After 2 years of not being able to drive as of today, I have 6 months over again, trying my best to figure out what and where to go to improve this life. Kind of hard to live in a country like this, becoming more frequently all numb, fuzzy minded, and memory loss. This is hard sometimes. Can anyone help me? Help. This person is actually literally screaming for help.
So just a summary, what's, if we could narrow it down to like one question, what was this one asking?
Support, I would say. I wouldn't say it's advice, it's kind of support. They're starting to have more seizures more often.
And that's the worst time because you literally can't do anything for yourself. It's more about having support around and people getting you back to level-headed where you can take the notes and keep track and do things like that. What's up, Mayor?
If your seizures are getting worse, you absolutely need to see your doctor right away. And I'll just, I don't know what your situation there is, but if your situation is getting worse, uh, degrading, then something with your medicine first, right away. That sounds urgent. So, yeah, fix that up right away as soon as possible. See your neurologist. Yeah.
Another perfect comment here. Everybody's gonna love this one. So remember that funny seizure stories page? My son, 18, first seizure was terrifying. It happened when he was laying in bed. I was bringing him a glass of water, call an ambulance. 3 very pretty paramedics turn up. He was groggy, looking around and asking what were 3 girls doing in his room. One of the lovely paramedics said gently, "We're here for you. We need to make sure you're okay." He gets up and starts taking his clothes off. So that was the funniest one so far. What do you guys think you would do in that
Bit more
situation?
specific, maybe.
What else would you do at 18?
That's what I'm saying. How do you guys think you would have honestly handled that?
The same way.
Yeah, the same way. You guys came right on the edge and missed when I said, has anyone ever had the benzos not work?
No, they've always worked. The only thing maybe sometimes that it hasn't been as much as I wanted. So I just, you know, should have taken a little bit more. That's really the only thing.
They were giving me Ativan, and I didn't know that was a benzo for a very long time. Oh, this one says, yesterday I had a focal seizure at 6 p.m., so I took half a tab of clonazepam. Then at 8 p.m., I had another one, so I took another half. At 10 p.m., I had another fucking focal seizure and went to bed terrified. The entire Klonopin, and my brain doesn't care. How do rescue meds not work? Anyone else ever have this happen? Isn't that what they call medication resistant?
I don't think
Or-
that medication resistant extends to benzodiazepines. I think that medication resistant is referring to the daily maintenance meds, and benzodiazepines would be the rescues.
It's definitely one way they diagnose it if you're having a seizure and even the rescues don't get you out. Definitely sounds like a status scenario.
First comment here says, oh, that isn't the first one actually. Someone said, ask your doctor. Another one says, I have an appointment, so all this will be discussed. I'm just terrified now to have a focal seizure. It worked a couple weeks ago. Hey, do you got anything lined up? Anything at all?
There's another funny one here. The young ones are the best. He's saying, had a seizure in my friend's car, forgot who he was, and when I came to, I thought I was being kidnapped. He managed to get to my phone and show me on Facebook, look, here's photographic proof we're friends, bro. So confusion in postictal can definitely get in the way. Another opportunity to see who's your real friends, though. Somebody else saying, I love this one. My boyfriend once thought I was possessed and wanted to kill him. I found out the next morning he hid all the kitchen knives under his side of the bed. That's another revealing situation.
Red flags, red flags.
True colors.
I got something now. It says epilepsy. I got 2 seizures within 5 weeks ago. I got diagnosed with epilepsy and put on medication yesterday for Valpro. Some call it Depakote. I feel anxious and I don't want to have an episode again. How fast will tablets work and will reduce symptoms? I also believe my seizure will trigger by alcohols, and most of the years I was having absent seizures and did not drink alcohol for 15 to 18 years. But once I did drink a lot, after 2 days, I had seizure episodes. I feel very devastated. I know many people were diagnosed with epilepsy, but not that strong mentally. I have high anxiety and seizure dying. I also have 3 kids.
They had something happen while they were driving. Another funny one was somebody saying they had a seizure in the ER waiting room at like 3 in the morning. I insisted on crawling all over the nasty floor. I was that crazy person in the waiting room. I'm told no one even seemed to notice I was convulsing. It was a wild night, complete with a murdered body dumped at the front entrance. Okay. That's a night at the ER.
But I do have one here. It says what's happening to me. I'm gonna get straight to the point. I had 3 episodes in the last 4 months, spaced out exactly 2 months from each other. All 3 of them, things were common. I felt tired, went on a run the 3rd day, and had instant coffee. A couple hours before, I fainted on the 1st day and 2nd. And while I fainted on the 3rd, now the thing is I usually convulse, so there's shaking. It lasts over 2 minutes, and I feel really groggy. Can't remember stuff like 20-ish minutes. 2nd day, I had a Gatorade and felt better much quicker than 1 and 3. Now the most relevant time it became. Oh my goodness, my eyes are watering. My heart rate is 120 over 2 hours after a whole ordeal. And 2 of the days I stood and sat real quickly. My ECG, MRI, EEG, and blood tests were all clean. Has anyone else experienced anything like this before? What do you recommend?
So I heard they're having trouble with lamotrigine side effects.
I don't think I heard lamotrigine in there.
Oh,
Side effects in general,
oh, okay.
and fainting and feeling groggy. Can't remember stuff. Just sounds like you have epilepsy. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, keep track of what's going on when you started to take the meds. If you're in that first like 2 months, they kind of go pill by pill on which ones take longer to adapt to. But
Yeah,
that could just be a side effect that you get over.
one of the responses here says the spacing out is most certainly along with the feelings afterwards, absent seizures. The one with the convulsions may have been a possible grand mal or myoclonic. Where were you aware when this was happening? Keep a journal with feelings you felt prior, as much as you can remember. Anything to tell others things you were doing that all day. If you can get a camera when you were at home, I keep one in my bedroom in case of nocturnal seizures. This will help with the doctor's visits. Something is wrong and the doctors don't listen. Hello, I have non-epileptic seizures, but there is an activity in my brain. It's just not a lot, so my doctor says it's a gray zone. I've been having very frequent seizures, but something is wrong, and I've been having very concerning symptoms recently. And I've been to the ER, but they just discharged me because they're non-epileptic. I'm scared and I don't know what to do. I feel something is very wrong. It's Sunday and I'm trying to hold out just to keep myself calm as possible.
So asking for advice for side effects. Day by day, honestly, just to get to the root cause, it's going to come down to deciding whether seizure control is worth that side effect. Whatever interrupts more is what it's going to come down to. If you have a doctor that pays attention and brings stuff like that up, maybe they'll come up with a better mixture, but it does feel overwhelming when you go back with a side effect and they try to give you another medication. So just be aware that could be what happens.
But you have to keep experimenting if you don't have the right combination to begin with. And it takes a while to get used to the side effects from each one. It doesn't happen immediately, but you still have to keep trying. There may be some combination out there that works.
That is right. I mean, I know the side effects are difficult, but uh, your health is the most important thing. And if the side effects are too much, you know, we've all heard about Keppra, then maybe you can move over to another. Hey, there's a lot of drugs out there. So yeah, it's all about finding that balance. So that yeah, finding what's most effective and something you can deal with, I suppose. Yeah.
And we've got another one here that has a kind of link to that one. Was anyone able to get their life back after getting on meds? I'm currently taking lamotrigine, tapering up to 100 milligrams in the morning and 100 milligrams at night. My seizures definitely feel impacted so far. Went through some triggers and it seems to be helping to subdue them. I don't want to get overly hopeful, but has anyone been able to get back to normal? Yeah,
Yep.
15
Yes.
years after diagnosed.
Yes.
I think I'm almost there.
Almost 20 years back. I feel good. Got something here though. It says I'm having seizures and I don't understand them. Long story short, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. They put me on. After a few days, a discharge. I had seizures since May, about 4 months ago. I've had around 7. Apparently, these violent. The first one lasted 6 minutes total, split into 3 episodes. I don't remember anything before, during, or immediately after. Total blackout. Since then, something's changed. My memory slipping, not just names and dates and objects and words. It's not like me. I've always had a sharp memory. Now it's glitchy and I can feel it. On top of that, I've been getting random muscle jerks, arm kicking out, weird spasms deep in the body, and it happens a lot. I can't help, but I think it's all connected. Yeah, it sounds connected. Sounds like seizures, right, you guys? Um, yeah.
There's a couple comments we didn't get to on that, getting your life back after meds.
That one.
Somebody's saying, okay, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Or I've been on Depakote after a decade of other medications in misery. I'm now 4 years seizure free, working on bachelor's that my brain isn't mush, earned my green belt in martial arts, in the best shape of my life, and even been really optimistic. Life can get better. That's an inspiring comment.
Since seizures, this one says, since seizures a couple weeks ago, I think I have brain damage. I feel a few weeks ago, I had my first seizures ever, 3 in 24 hours. I was hospitalized for 3 days, had brain MRI, lumbar puncture, EEG, CT scan, etc. Released with the follow-up appointment with private practice neurologist in October. Please, plus prescribed Keppra. I was feeling kind of okay, but weak when I got home, but now I'm having cognitive issues with things like typing, hitting the wrong key over and over. This post is taking forever. I know how to spell something, but will hit the same key several times. Also, the TV remote, which I've used a few times, I can no longer remember which button does what, which button functions what. It seems mostly to be those things I'm having issues with. No further seizures. I live alone. Can't drive, of course. Has this happened to you? Any good thoughts or suggestions? I'm really freaked out. What's TIA?
It's
It's a heart
a form
attack.
of stroke.
Say that
Oh,
again.
okay.
It's a form of stroke.
Transient ischemic attack.
When I had my first seizure, they diagnosed me as having one.
Really sorry to hear you're dealing with that. You're dealing with what you're dealing with. I'm on Keppra as well. And when I started taking it, it was somewhat disorientating. It takes about a month to get used to the side effects, longer for others. My advice would be to take it easy and with a journal, everything that seems off to you. And you have a neurologist appointment in October. I would address the concerns. I hope you get to feeling better soon.
It's more like loss of control for me. I can feel it, but I can't control what that hand is doing.
Okay, I'll read this. It says, hey, so my partner had a seizure on July 31st and a mini seizure on August 9th. What's alarming to us is that she lost her sensation in her right leg. She had multiple MRIs, CTs. She saw a neuro that specialized in MS and she ruled out MS. My partner starts an in-home PT soon and is currently using a walker. She's taking her meds and we've added magnesium to her regimen. I'm wondering if anyone else went through this and what's the best way to get her sensation back. I haven't been through any loss of sensation of any limbs. Haven't had a walker yet.
Sounds like nerve damage.
Okay, that makes sense. My sushi's here.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Dog is barking at him.
That's a good warning sign. And what are we talking about? There was, oh, okay, I kind of like some of these successful comments about getting your life back after meds. Good to hear. MRI tech. Yep, I'm hoping to go back to school and get certified to be a tech. Ironically, an idea that spawned from all of this misery. I don't know, I would just be so skeptical about starting a career again. How would you guys ever feel comfortable getting back into the workforce? I mean, would you venture it by going back to school, getting certified, like literally starting a whole career all over again? Or what do you think?
Well, strange enough, I actually went back to school right after college, but I just never used the degree in IT. I don't know why. I just don't know why. But I am well versed in IT and but then I got certifications and one's going to expire soon. I don't know if Kate can hear me, but it doesn't matter. I'm talking about all
If
you.
you
Um, yeah, so yeah, I need a few more certifications to be really, really qualified. Um, and
if you didn't use the schooling, what did you go on to do? If you don't mind me asking.
I didn't do anything.
You
I'm
didn't do
not
anything?
uh it's it's a very competitive field, let's say. So getting an entry level job is just having that certificate from a community college in IT is not good enough. You need further things like you you need
Specialties?
you, no okay, so what I got was an educational certificate, and then there's certifications, which are what are they called? It's
When you put the
industry.
hours in?
That's industry certifications. There's educational certification that was or it goes certificate, associates, bachelor's. I got a certificate of proficiency. Uh, And then I went on to get several certifications, but whether that's enough is I have not gotten any responses from my resumes or just something like a desktop assistant, which is a very common job, and that's like a very good entry level job.
You looking to get that job?
Oh, that would be an excellent job. That's you can do that remotely. You can do that. Yeah, that would be a fantastic job to get.
To this last post I was at with the loss of limb sensation. First comment says try water therapy and just slowly as possible and maybe try grounding, reflexology.
I float, which is different than water therapy, but it's just like floating weightless in a small pool filled with Epsom salts and water. And that's great for my back.
I'll just
Yeah, especially if
Can you
hot water
explain
is not a
that?
trigger for you.
um I didn't quite understand. You said you float on your back. There's a tub big enough where you can do that and Epsom salt and all that?
Yeah, it's they I forget how much. I think they use like 3 pounds of Epsom salts in the tub, and it's more than big enough for me to float in. You could, it's more than comfortable. And you just lay there for an hour. It's really one of the best therapies I've ever had. But that's different than water therapy. Water therapy is one of these, or old new age things that they did. I don't quite understand it.
Got another post here. Says, looking for any help. I was wondering if anyone has experience with Trileptal or oxycarbazepine. I've been on it recently and I feel like I might be more irritable than usual. But I'm also dealing with a lot of life changes, like not being able to drive anymore. So I'm not sure what's causing it. Just looking for any insight or shared experiences. How did you guys experience not being able to drive anymore? It was easy. I was a teen. I wasn't driving yet, and it's just like, hey, well, I guess I won't drive.
It was really an easy decision for me. I'd been driving all my life. Since I was 17, I've been driving. And as soon as I found out that I was having episodes during the day, I just put the car in the garage. I couldn't even think about driving if I had the possibility of hurting someone or killing someone, not to mention myself, but I would rather be myself than someone, that I'd have to live with for the rest of my life, having that thought. So it was kind of easy. Of course, on the other hand, I'm a lot more fortunate than a lot of people. If I need to go somewhere, either my wife can take me or I can take an Uber. So, that makes the decision a lot easier.
Exactly what we want to have, options. I'm glad it worked out for you. Gotta face the
Yeah.
facts. Time to stop driving. Do what you gotta do. Come on, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate to have a lot of people help me through the years, and also very fortunate to have a good public transportation system, very excellent. Yeah, so it was easy getting around the city. Uh, that's a good thing to have, and I know many people around the country don't have that, and that's yeah.
I got one here, you guys. It says how to fight Depakote fatigue. All I want to do is sleep now. I used to take Depakote, switch to Keppra. Now I'm on both. I'm on the lowest dose of Depakote, taking it once a night. I can sleep for 10 hours. Then all day I'm so tired I just want to nap. I'm not doing any hobbies I usually do anymore because if I take a nap, that turns into sleeping till 9:30 at night. Then I eat and pass out again. I remember this years ago, but I didn't think it would hit me the same way at a low dose. Coffee doesn't work anymore, and I know energy drinks aren't safe for us. How do you guys live when all you want to do is sleep? I take B12 by Nature's Made. Gives me some energy. Shout out to Nature's Made.
Shout out to Nature's Made.
Right. Check
Exercise
it out.
helps too. I mean, you
B12
need
by
the
Nature's
energy
Made.
for that.
Twice a
It's
day.
active.
And the gummies, it's easy. Yeah, the fatigue is bad. I know what you mean. Nature's Made though gives me a lot of energy back. So yeah, fatigue isn't there as often. I feel like I do a little more these days now that the fatigue is actually gone. Kevin, you were on Depakote. How was that?
Make you tired, and I think I was taking a lot of naps over the past couple of years, but I've lowered just a little bit, and I think I went from 2,000 to 1,500 milligrams, and I've slept less. You know, I'm not like taking naps all during the day now, and I don't know if that's the lowering or maybe just placebo effect. I couldn't tell, but yeah, I think I'm still tired because I'm taking a lot of other medicines. Uh, and Depakote is a very tough drug because over time it affects your muscles and your body, and yeah, I'll just say you can all look up the side effects. It's just tough on your body.
Did doctors ever warn you or inform you of that over the years that you're on Depakote, that all right, we're getting to, over 5 years now, so let's start talking about other alternatives?
They never do. I mean, I think they warn me about my liver and stuff, and they 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 get worried when my liver started to get really fatty. I started to get fatty liver disease. As I came to that point, I was on the precipice of getting that, and
So they
then
just assumed all the all the warnings on the box were going to
uh,
be enough.
I just changed my lifestyle. I I don't know what I did exactly. I think it was the drinking mostly. I stopped drinking, and that you know maybe I started eating better. Yeah, I started eating better a lot in my 30s. When I turned around 30, I started eating a lot better.
Now I think
Mm.
about it, I don't think I really read the boxes on my meds either. Definitely not to see what the long-term effects are.
Uh, it's just uh, a lot of foods are really heavy on the liver, and I think I cut out red meat pretty much, and I know red meat is actually a lot of that. What B12 is made of is pretty much all animal fat. I mean, this isn't. It is. So, I mean, okay, Cookie, you go. You're up next.
Yeah. So this is what happens when I forgot what I was gonna say. So it'll come to me. Give me a second.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.